Hi, I'm Dory Stoll. I'm with Prairie Scraps, and one of the things the reason I ever came up with Prairie Scraps initially was because I used to do a lot of crafting and craft shows and stuff, and I haven't done them for a couple years, but I have a son who is trying to raise funds now for going on a 4-H Japanese trip, and so we need to make lots of funds. So, and I've done this with my other kids too. We've made crafts and then sold them at a craft sale. So this year I was able to pick up a bunch, actually I think 3 or 4 Scrabble games. I looked for the wooden ones for sure, and then I did find a little junior one, which is pretty cute. They're plastic tiles, but I haven't decided if I'm going to make those yet, but we'll get there. But anyway, so just to show you, I've actually made 3 different kinds of ornaments. The first one that we've been making are actually cutting the little stand in half and using those for ornaments. So that's one of them. And then another one is where they're longer words. I will go ahead and put them on a ribbon and hang them up that way. So that is how we did that. There we go. And then the third way is actually my favorite, and if I could do them all like this, I would. But like I said, it has a lot to do with, sorry for the motion, has a lot to do with how long the word is, because I want to fit it within that ornament. But I love these. I am just so in love with these. I almost want to keep them all, but just so you can see how they look. Sorry about that. The dog is thinking that everybody has left her. Here's another one. This is one of my favorites. So anyway, that's what I'm going to show you today is the ones with the ornaments on the back. And then hopefully I could come back with a couple more tutorials to show you how I do the other 2 kinds. So a couple things that you need are ribbons. I have tons and tons of Christmas ribbons. Actually, oh my gosh, Dollar Tree had just tons of them. There's this in silver. There's one in white. These are $1 for these, and these have been this one in white as well. Let's see. Oh, got some red, kind of a brocade. I haven't even used that one. Let's see. Oh, and then some snowflake ones. Oh, I've even got some blue sparkly. This blue, I like to use it because it's pretty sparkly, but very messy. So, and then I also couldn't find this thinner ribbon. I use this for making the bows, and then the thing on the top, the hanger on the top. So I got this at Joann's. It was 40% off, and I think the normal price, I'm trying to see, I don't know, $4.99. So whatever that comes out to be, it would be about $3.50 or $3.30 or something like that. So I use that ribbon for making ribbon bows, and there's also the other thing I use is a bodabra. This is a little piece that goes in it. I love making the bows look kind of pretty and perfect. And then, of course, gobs and gobs of jingle bells are kind of fun to add to it. And those I got from Dollar Tree as well. My bodabra, by the way, old. I've been using them for years and years. So if you want a tutorial, please comment below, and I'll do a tutorial on how to make the bows, because I'll go through it, but I probably won't demo it too much. Then I got these ornaments at Dollar Tree, and they are 10 of them for $1, which is really cool. They're a little more flimsy, so I'll show you what I do to make this work out a little bit better, but you can see they have a really super fine hanger for it, so I cut that right off and put a new ribbon into it. The other ones that I found were these. There's only 5 pieces in this, so you don't make quite as much money. And those other ones, that's 10 cents an ornament that you're putting into it. This one is going to be 20 cents. And then there's also these really cute silver snowflakes, and those came in a 5-pack as well as at Dollar Tree. Some other things that I have used throughout from Dollar Tree throughout making these are these little snowflakes. They're stickers, but I hot glue them on, take the sticker off actually, and I got those in blue and in silver. So that's what we'll be using to make these ornaments. Like I said, the ornament that we're kind of trying to do here is this little ornament with the snowflake behind it. So first I take my, like I said, I take my snowflake and cut off that string. and then put on a new one. So I use that thin ribbon from Joann's to make a new one, just tie a knot in the top. It does take a little talent sometimes to get it through the holes because they're tiny, tiny pieces of string they have, but I want to try to get a bigger one in there. Then what I like to do, then what I do is I go ahead and cut a really teeny tiny, you can just see how big that is, teeny tiny piece of ribbon, and then double it over and go put it through singly and then double it over through the jingle bell so I can hang that at the bottom. And I like to go ahead and find the bottom of this, and I'll hot glue that just on that bottom leg and let it hang down a little bit, but not too much. And then this won't show because it'll be underneath the tiles. So that's what I do first. Whoops. And I often do that up in my hand. I've got a cool melt gun. I forgot to mention that that's something you need. You also need handy dandy scissors. So anyway, then let's see. So before I glue this on, I kind of always measure it out and see how it's going to turn out, and that looks perfect. Before I glue this on, actually what I did was I made up all the words out of 2 or 3 of the different, just so you can see that, Scrabble games, and made this big pile. The whole table was covered in all the different words that were Christmas, reminding me of Christmas, so gift is one of them. And I made all those words out, and then it was laying out on the table, and then started getting all scrabbled up, literally. So anyway, what I ended up doing was I went through and on the back just cut a popsicle stick to glue on the back to make it nice and stable. And I'm glad I did that because actually on this particular ornament, this one's a little bit more flimsy, so it doesn't hold it as steady as the other ornaments do. The other 5 packs are actually stronger ornaments, but I kind of like the delicateness of this one anyway. So that is it. That's how we are going to put it on. And actually, the next thing I do is there's kind of some places where you can glue on. Come on, hot glue gun. Of course, it's not going to work right now. And I try to go kind of down the middle. This is going to take up pretty much the whole thing and the whole ornament. To put that on there, try to get it centered between this and this, which actually makes it look like it's a string going all the way through, but I don't have it going all the way through. I don't know, I guess you could, maybe, I don't know. So anyway, that's glued on. You can maybe see it a little bit. I have attached pieces of ribbon on the back, like I might take another piece of ribbon and just go down the back if you wanted to not show that popsicle stick. But as far as the wood colored ones, I think it's really not a big deal by the time you get it all dressed up. And as you can see, I'm getting lots of glitter everywhere. That's just kind of coming off the ornaments and off my ribbon. So now to make my bow, I have my bow dabra here, and you put that skinny one in through here. When I first was learning how to do these, I used to use the, whoops, stuck in my glue gun. I would use my, they told you these little wire things you put in there to make the middle portion of the bow, but I've learned that to use a matching small thin piece of ribbon in the middle so that I can leave it on the bow and actually use it as extra decoration. So I'm going to do this a little sideways here. So what I do is I leave it, my ribbon, right on the spool as I'm doing this, so I don't have to cut any more than I need. So I go ahead, and the first one, you have to turn it to put it on. And then I don't know why, but I really like bows with 2 big ones on the back, 2 big little bow things on the back, and then 2 smaller ones on the top. So I kind of try to judge where this is going to be. I suppose you could measure it, but I don't. I kind of eyeball it and see what looks pleasing to my eyes. And there's the second one. Oops, I didn't turn that one. If you have ribbon, which because this is Dollar Tree ribbon, it's not double-sided. If you have ribbon that's double-sided, it goes a lot faster because you don't have to do that turning. But there it is. I think that's pretty good. And then before I do anything more, I always try to cut this at an angle pretty close to where I'm going to use it from. So that's it for that. then you take the little bar, push it down and kind of get it folded there. And then I use this still on, it's actually still on the roll as well. I have it attached. And I just take and tie a knot super tight. Because that was the one thing that the wire in the middle did nicely, was get it really tight, but ribbon is a little bit looser sometimes. So I get it as tight as I can, just tie a knot right in the center, like that. And then I will also kind of judge where that is the same, cut that, pull it out, and then I just kind of play with it a little bit. Try to put my fingers in there, sorry. Try to put my fingers in there and just bring it up so it looks nice. And then I judge, sometimes they go up, sometimes they go down. I'm not sure why, but they just look, they seem to like kind of just go that way. I try to make it look like it's going to be all at the end of the project. Kind of play with it a little bit, make it look nice. Okay, it folds out. If you kind of pull at the center, they look nicer. I don't know, they just kind of pull out. Okay, so there it is, my little bowl. These will go down. And then what I do is when I get on here, I guess this one, I think I'm gonna stick it right there on the top. And so I'm gonna actually pull this back a little bit so it's still loose. And then I'll just put a little bit of glue on top and glue my bow on. Usually that extra string, this little ribbon or whatever wire, that's the wire that you would tie a bow on. But when I'm doing hot glue, why tie something on when you can use hot glue? Then I like to move it around. I might actually come in here and do a little dab of hot glue right there to hold that down, make it look nice. This one has to come up a little bit, and I'll just pull on that. And then here, oops, a little bit of extra glue there. I know hot glue is kind of messy. And then I just keep pulling at it till it looks nice. And there, that's it. I may or may not cut those little ones off a little bit. I kind of like them the way they are. I think it just makes it look more 3D. So there you go. There is my finished ornament. Oops. Oh, and my little ribbon got stuck in there. So it's a little off, and I like it all to be straight. Shoot. Oops. There it is. I loosened it up. Okay. All right, so that's how it looks. That is my favorite one. And actually, I'm trying to figure out pricing. I got one of my Scrabble games for like $1, one for $2, and one for 50 cents. I talked the lady down. They had gotten wet. So anyway, so that's all I spent, and I'm probably making hundreds here. I don't have a count yet. And then this is only 10 cents, and then this is, you know, God only knows, maybe a couple pennies, 5 cents maybe. And then the ribbon, of course, is, I'm getting just gobs of ornaments out of that as well, so under $1. So that's my Scrabble tile ornaments. And so I'm thinking, I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me what you think I should price them at. I was thinking $1 per tile, because some of the words are longer, some are shorter, for selling them. We're kind of in a, I don't know, less expensive. Well, people just don't want to pay a lot. So anyway, I want them to go, and I want them to raise money for my son. So anyway, so that's my Scrabble tile ornaments. If you enjoyed this, or if you have comments and what you think I should charge for these ornaments at the craft fair, I'd love to hear that. Also, if you'd like to see the other two, please comment about that, and make sure you subscribe and like this video. Thanks for joining me.